You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Monday the 4th of August, 2025. It is 45 days after the summer solstice. It is 49 days before the fall equinox. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 17th day of Thermidor, the day of the lin, of flax. The sun rises today at 5:56 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 1:02 p.m. The sun sets today at 8:07 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 8:38 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 9:15 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes, 7 seconds shorter than yesterday. The moon is in its waxing gibbous phase and is 79% full at midday. The full moon will arrive on Friday, the 9th of August. These are the predicted tides today for Horn's Hook. In the middle of the night, low tide, 12:41 a.m., 24 centimeters. In the morning, high tide, 6:49 a.m., 1 meter 13. In the afternoon, low tide, 12:47 p.m., 34 centimeters. In the evening, high tide, 7:08 p.m., 1 meter 40. This is the Monday Reservoir Report for New York City. The Delaware watershed, Cannonsville, 86% full. Papacton, 91%. Neversink, 95%. Rondout, 95%. The Catskill watershed, Schoharie, 60%. Ashokan, 93%. The Croton system, 99% full. In our shared realm of plants and animals, chestnut trees are relatively rare in the neighborhood, but those few individuals that are here are covered with fruit. Encased in spherical, spiky burrs, they are bright green and stand out against the dark green leaves. Come fall, they will go brown, and the burrs will burst open, letting the mahogany-colored chestnuts fall to the ground. Commemorations. This is a myth, but sometimes myths deserve a place in our calendars. On this day in 1693, Dom Pérignon invented champagne. Dom Pierre Pérignon was a French Benedictine monk born in 1638. From 1668, he was the cellarer of the Abbé Saint-Pierre d'Auvilliers, in charge of both wine production and storage. On this day, tasting a new, sparkling vintage, he is said to have said, "Come quickly, I am tasting the stars." On this day in 1887, Granny, a sea anemone, died in Edinburgh. She was taken from a rocky shore at North Berwick in Scotland by an amateur naturalist, John Dalyell, in 1828. She lived alone in a jar, cared for by a series of Edinburgh naturalists. She outlived John Dalyell and gave birth to several hundred offspring before her death. Granny was displayed to many visitors, and her visitors' book held over 1,000 names. She was arguably the most famous sea anemone of her time. On this day in 1929, Jones Beach opened to the public. It was Robert Moses's first public project. The public beach was built on a low-lying sandbar, only 2 feet above sea level. Moses workers built up the barrier island with sand dredged from the bay, raising the island to 12 feet above sea level. Beach grass was planted to hold the new dunes in place, creating a barrier for wind as well. It remains one of the great public beaches on Long Island. A somber anniversary. On this day in 1944, the Gestapo found Anne Frank and her family in hiding in the Amsterdam house where they had taken refuge. She would die early the next year at Bergen-Belsen. Another somber anniversary. On this day in 1972, the dictator Idi Amin began the expulsion of South Asians from Uganda. Families of Indian origin who had lived in that country for generations had to leave, losing all they had. Interestingly, the current mayoral candidate, Zoran Mamdani's family, were among those dispossessed at the time. A beautiful anniversary. On this day in 2022, Alex Jones lost the case brought by the parents of the children killed in the Sandy Hook massacre and was ordered to pay $4.1 million in compensatory damages. The broadcaster had claimed that the killings were a hoax. As a result of this baseless claim, parents of the first graders killed in cold blood were terrorized by his supporters. As of June this year, he had not paid out, delaying. We wait for accountability for outright lies. And that is the Observatory, Monday, the 4th of August, 2025.